Come here, son, nephew, young man. Let me holler at you. So I got a TikTok viewer named Bruce Oliver who asked, hey man, can you do a follow-up on these two knives, the Spyderco Persistence and the Tenacious? When I first got these, I wasn't impressed, and I'll tell you what, they grew on me. So, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get two other knives. There's a reason for me stopping. Hold on, sorry. My bad. All right, I don't do a whole lot of edits. I don't really have time to do edits and stuff like that. So what I have come to like about these is, number one, the FRN scales are very, very easy to grip. I need to clean this one off a little bit, but I actually use them. This one's hard to sharpen because the blade's so small. This is the Persistence. So what I have done with these, pretty much, because I'm not a master sharpener or anything like that, I can get a usable edge on either one. This one's a little bit harder. I think this is a work sharp, like I forget what they called it, but you're really supposed to use these pads, put it down somewhere, you can get a better grip, not cut yourself, and hopefully not cut anything else. So I just use this honing blade, but all my Amazon packages and stuff like that, stuff that's just, abrasive towards knife blades, that's what I use these for. I can also, at least I think I'm sharpening up my serrations. I use this honing rod and turn it sideways. This one's a little hard to reach because of where it's positioned at, but I get a usable edge. It does what I need it to do. So what these have relegated to, this one, this actually replaced my Kershaw Blur, which is just pretty much freaking worn out, man. I need to get a belt and strap both of these with some leather after I hone these blades up a little bit. This is gonna cut some weed eater string. That's probably it today. But I tell you, I bought my mom a refrigerator a few months back, or sometime this summer. And this thing went straight through those boxes. My son had some things he was doing with some cardboard boxes. I asked him to do a comparison with this and his CRKT, dagnabbit, I forget the model name of the one he has. Might be the CRKT MK21. I can't remember. But he said this one gave him a better cutting experience with cardboard. Yes, the action did loosen up over time. I think I may have done 200 or 300 rounds of opening and closing, and letting it open with its own weight and that type of thing. So it does loosen up over time. If somebody, how about this? Guy did some audio, car audio stuff for me. He didn't have a knife. I let him use this one. So he grinded away at some edges on that little plastic kit that goes in the dashboard. And this knife has actually been through a lot, to say I hadn't really had it but a year. And hey, I don't regret buying this one at all. Like I said, if I'm going to do work where I know I'm going to just be tearing my knife up, these are probably going to be my go-to units. I like these FRN scales. They are very grippy. This knife is really too small for my taste, to be honest, but for Amazon packages and stuff like that, and plastic and stuff like that, it doesn't, $40, my feelings aren't hurt about it. But this fella here, this thumb ramp with the jimping on the thumb ramp, the way the ergonomics are set up, I like to go tip up carry. So I move the clips to where I can have tip up carry. That's just easier for me to access. I can't complain about these at all. Now, if it's prime time, if I'm on the road working, what I do with these, I keep the business end razor sharp. I don't cut anything with the business end on my Benchmade. I'll do most of my cutting with the serrations, which are very effective, by the way. If I'm gonna be in a life or death situation or an emergency, I'm going with the Benchmade. That's just had the better ergonomics, better action. The way it's made here, it's easier for me to grip out of my pocket, especially if it's cold or if I got gloves on. And speaking of which, these actually, this one here, the Tenacious, does well with gloves. Clip is a little bit tight. You might have to give it a good yank, but it's secure, so it ain't going nowhere, so you won't lose it. Because with your work knife, you don't want it to get. Well, for me being in the yard, I don't need it falling in the yard, getting stuck under the lawnmower or anything like that. I need it to stay where it is, and shouldn't be any rapid deployment needed in a yard situation, because if I'm gonna rapidly deploy something, well, we're gonna rapidly deploy something else. So for a person who is on a budget or just needs a knife to, abuse and throw away, or something where you got these boogers who say, hey, can I use your knife, and you don't care what happens to it, because I thought for sure that plastic was going to eat this up. It's got like a coating. It's not like with and I don't know how they make this, but there's a smooth transition from the blade to this coating here, like it's sprayed on almost. Well, I guess both of them are, but you can actually see, where this one chipped off at. So it's not, let's see if I can zoom in for you. All right. I guess I can't get a good zoom here for whatever reason. These videos are so much better with the Android phone I have. I think it's an SE20, something like that, FE20. I don't know. They're just phones to me. I'm starting to get old, man. You can kind of see where there's a chip here, because it's like you could actually like run your fingernail across here and kind of feel where this finish starts and ends. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think you can see it right there. So I don't know what you call it. But it's still there. It works. It's not like that diamond coated finish on the cold steels where, it has that smooth feeling to it, so it's supposed to aid with cutting. To me, it's not like that. It's still kind of like a matte, slightly abrasive finish. Where these is like, actually, it's powdery, grainy. I want to say both of them are like that, I'm pretty sure. This one feels a little bit more smooth, but this one's been used more than the black one. But in my other videos, I talked about how I keep these razor sharp. Now I've put this through a few things. This is still cut hair. It is still shaving sharp, but it's starting to dull a little bit, but that's why I got two. So whenever I need to send one back, it's going back. But for stuff that it's not prime time, it's in the yard, it's probably going to do, going to really dull a knife up, and I don't necessarily need razor sharp performance around the house. But if I'm gonna bet my tail on something, it's gonna be this here. I think I probably said that more than once. This is probably becoming redundant. Good ergonomics, good blade geometry, excellent for work tasks, deep serrations with varying space between the edges, like the FRN scales, but of course I always like serrated blades personally. Some things just cut better with the serrations. Even with the usable edge, it's still definitely sharp enough to pierce. I can't say I like this one as much. If I got a choice between the two, I found myself reaching for this one more. If I got on some gym shorts or something like that, I need to throw one in my pocket. this one obviously fits a little bit better. The handles aren't that much different in size though, believe it or not. It's just that blade length. But I don't think you can go wrong with these. I don't see anything wrong with them at all. I wouldn't, I'm not a knife snob anyway. If you got a Walmart knife and it's a blade, man. I mean, most people who got $200 and $300 knives don't really need them. There is a video where I was changing a tire in 20-degree weather, and then the tire got stuck, and I had to take a lug nut off, like a stripped lug nut, and the tools and things I had bought had those hard plastic hooks that go on the racks at AutoZone. This broke them off quick, fast, in a hurry with gloves on in 20-degree weather. It dulled the blade up. I even chipped this blade, and I shipped it back to Benchmade, and they got it taken care of for me. I would not have wanted to be stuck out there with this in 20-degree weather. I can't lie to you. But then again, could you have made it? Probably. I wouldn't go prying on stuff. I wouldn't do like the cold steel knife test, or I wouldn't go trying to cut wood and stuff like this with this and still think it's going to be razor sharp. And now this one did come shaving sharp, but it's like, I want to say 8 CR13 MOV, so it's not going to hold that type of edge forever, and I don't know if it's worth going to pay to get it sharpened or whatever the case may be. But if you just need a good usable knife and you don't want to pay a whole lot of money, but you want better than Walmart's bottom of the barrel or whatever they have at your hardware store, it's a good buy. I can't complain at all. I recommend it. I need to get myself some affiliate links and start posting some affiliate links, but today ain't that day. So hey, I hope you enjoy your knife, sir. Anybody else out there, if you need a decent knife, I would even say a good knife, because I mean, good for most people is going to be subjective. If I only had this, I wouldn't feel under-knifed. Is that a word? I don't know. It is today. Questions, comments, whatever the case may be, leave them. That's all I can think of. And as always, never lose the will to win, never lose the will to survive.